Prime Monday Night Hockey, obviously. Everybody was familiar last year with Prime getting into the sports world. Pardon me, obviously with the NFL. Now they're dipping their toe into hockey. I watched the first broadcast. I thought it was fantastic. It felt like old school hockey night in Canada. It was really, really fun to watch. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with it and your excitement for this project.
Well, thanks so much for the kind words, Ron. That's really sweet of you. What happened was I was at the Emmy Awards, which is a sentence I never thought I'd be able to say, but I was there nominated with MLB Network for Outstanding Studio Show Daily, and we ended up winning. We beat SportsCenter and NFL Live and PTI and all ESPN shows. So it was a wonderful, wonderful moment for me and my boss, Mark Kayafa, as you ran to the stage. I'm fist pumping, back slapping him. It was great, great fun. And afterwards, I'm talking to Amina Hussein, who's an old coordinating producer from ESPN, who's now at Amazon. And she's high-fiving me. She's so happy for me. I'm happy for her. Obviously, she's doing great at Amazon. And the next day, she sends me a text and goes, "Hey, it's Amina. Great seeing you. Give me a shout when you can." I don't know about you guys, but generally, I'm just reluctant to talk on the phone to anyone. It could be, an old colleague, could be my mother. Someone goes, "Give me a call." I go, "I got 100 other things to do." But I was like, well, this probably should be something I should do. So I said, "I'll give you a call tomorrow." The time to make phone calls when you have 4 kids like me is in the car. That's when I can get things done. I'll do it in the car. So I call her. And she goes, "Yeah, I just want to rap a little bit. Last night, yeah, it was awesome." She goes, "Listen, I might have a job for you." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she starts to explain the job. And I got to tell you, Ryan and Clarkie, as Canadians, we're all naturally humble, but I, for some reason, was so brazen. I just said to her, like, I'm the person for the job. Like, we can just stop this conversation right now. Like, it's got to be me. And she starts laughing. She goes, "Well, this is why I'm calling you." So I said, "All right." We set up a Zoom, and I think even in the Zoom, very, very similar to your intro, their coordinating producer, I believe it was Josh Friedenberg, goes, "Hey, big fan of your work at ESPN. Loved you on college football." And I go, "Well, Josh, let's stop right now. Let's get this job done. You offer me the job, I'll say yes, and then let's get to work on this." So I was so excited when they explained to me the chance to do hockey in Canada, which, as we all know, is in our blood and our bones. And as a kid who was born in Toronto, grew up in Kingston, lived for a time in Morven, Ontario, population 500, which Mark Askin had to bring up on the first broadcast. I'll get to that in a second. But it's amazing. And honestly, it feels like a family affair because Amina, as I mentioned, is from ESPN. So is Brandon Lowe, who's one of our talent guys. So we're old friends. Askin, I just mentioned, is a legendary producer. Of course, he was hockey in Canada for so many years, and he's the biggest MLB Network fan in Canada. He's texting me every time he's watching me on TV. Andy Petrula is an old friend of mine from Leafs TV. She's one of the hosts and also one of the ringside reporters. Thomas Hickey and Jody Shelley are NHL Network guys, so I know them from working with them in Secaucus, New Jersey. The only guy I didn't know is Forsey, John Forsey. And of course, I feel like I know him because I've been watching him do hockey for 40 years. So it was an absolute no-brainer. And I got to thank MLB Network, fellas. I worked at ESPN for 9 years. I had a blaster. It's a great, great company. But when you work at ESPN, they demand exclusivity. That's where you work. It's a real credit to MLB to say, listen, let's figure this out where you can fly out Sunday, do the game Monday, and come back first flight Tuesday. For example, this coming weekend, Sunday, I'm doing, I'm in the studio doing MLB Tonight, our flagship show, Emmy Award-winning show. It's going to be Mets, Dodgers, Game 6, NLCS, whatever. I'm flying out first flight Monday morning, going to do Leafs Lightning on Prime Monday Night Hockey, fly back Tuesday for Yankees Guardians. So it's I'm incredibly lucky that this opportunity has happened. And I thank you for the kind words, Ryan. I thought our first show went pretty well. You never know with the first show. You're always a little nervous, a little anxious. I have friends who describe me as self-assured. I said, I must have fooled you guys because I'm nervous like anybody before our first show. You never know how it's going to go, especially when it's Amazon, when it's streaming, and you just hope that everyone has chemistry. I didn't meet Messi until 4:00. I'm doing a show with him 3 hours later. Hopefully we have chemistry. Hopefully things work out. But I think it was good. And again, all credit goes to Marco. He's an incredible producer. He put us in position to succeed. I knew Forrest and Hickey, Shelley be good. I wasn't sure about the desk, perfectly candid, because Blake Bolden and I haven't worked together. She worked at ESPN. First black player, women's hockey league, was a scout of the Kings. And again, I just met Messier, who, I got to be honest with you guys, I grew up a Flyers fan, so I don't have great memories of Messier from 85 and 87. But it was a lot of fun the way things worked out. A good crowd there in Montreal. Penguins win 6-3. And apparently the lag was okay. No issues with the stream. Because first and foremost, I'm a consumer like anybody else. If I'm streaming something, I would get mad if there's a lag, if something's happening. Everyone told me no glitches. Technically, it worked well. So blessed to be in this position on Prime.